Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to make stuffed cabbage rolls. For this recipe I am going to use texturized vegetable protein. We have a nice big headed cabbage. We're going to use onions, the TVP, and our seasonings: onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, dried parsley, cayenne, Italian seasoning, black pepper, salt, Maggie, garlic, carrots, and we are going to make a flex egg or two. I will put the recipe in the description box in the bottom so you have it if you like to make it. The first thing I have to do is get a big pot of water to a boil so I can immerse the cabbage in it so the leaves get a little softer. Put my water on, put it on high so it can get to a boil. Now I'm going to measure 1.5 cups of the texturized vegetable protein. I'm going to add hot water to it so it can soak and rehydrate. I am going to prepare the flex egg using 2 tablespoons of flex meal and 4 tablespoons of water. We're going to set both of these to the side. Then I am going to chop up some onions, clean those potatoes, I almost said carrots, and grate them, and then we get started. I chopped up my onions and I grated the carrot. I only used 1 because it made a little too much. I was going to use 2, but you don't want that much carrot in. And I only used a half onion because there was some big onions. I got 2 garlics in there as well. Now I'm going to add the flex egg. Okay, and then I'm going to drain and squeeze out the water from the texturized protein. So what we do is we're squeezing out the excess water and add it to our onion, garlic, carrot mixture and this flex egg mixture. So we add in all of this. And that should make about 5, maybe even 6 stuffed cabbages. So here we go. We're going to discard of this. Wash my hands. And now to add our seasoning, we're going to do teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of onion powder, teaspoon of paprika, 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of parsley, some pepper to taste, and some salt. Then we are using some Maggie. I use Maggie on almost everything. It just gives a great flavor. And since the husband likes spice, I'm going to put in some Cayenne. Water started to boil, so I'm just going to add the cabbage. Be careful not to burn yourself. With the core down into the boiling water, put the lid on, turn it down to medium, and oops, I'm in the way. And then we let it cook until the outer leaves are soft, which is usually 5-7 minutes, depending on the cabbage. Let's mix up our texturized vegetable protein. It is never going to be a texture like a meatloaf or if you use meat, because of the texturized protein doesn't get that texture. But when you do it, see, it sticks together if you form it. So we mix this up, then we let it sit for a minute or two so the seasoning can penetrate into the mixture. So here we go. So see, this is what it looks like. Can you see it? And I am going to set that aside. I will check on my cabbage. I'm not all awake yet, so if I pause sometimes I even forget what I say. It happens with age. So I'm just me. Okay, I'll check on my cabbage and I'll be back. Alrighty, so the cabbage is done. The outer leaves are soft, so I am going to remove these. Be very careful because it's really hot. Just took it out. Maybe I should wait a little bit, but I always get impatient. So here is one. And then ooh, hot. Okay, I was on the wrong side. This one is the next one that comes off. They're in a layer, so it's actually really easy to get them off if you go in the right layer. So this is the next one. So it should come off really easy now. Yep. So there's number 3. I think I need 5, maybe even 4. Let me see. This is the next one. Okay. 4. This one doesn't look too good, so I'm going to cut another one. And this is the next one. I thought I got it, but I don't. There we go. So there's 4. So that should do it. 4 leaves should be fine because it's not that much filling. So let's go and start the fillings. Let me move this out the way. And here we go. So here's our filling. I got some toothpicks ready because we're closing it up with toothpicks. So let's start this. So we're going to make almost like a meatball, a big meatball. So there's one. There is two. Three. And number 4. I got a little left, so I'm going to divide it into the 4. So here's a little more in this one and some more in this one. Okay, let me go ahead and wash my hands. And now we're going to roll them. So you want to fold these in. Can you see? Yeah. You want to fold these ones in. And then we're just going to roll it like this. And we're going to put the toothpicks in here. So there is one to hold it together. And here is the other one. Okay, come on. There we go. So there is one. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. There is the next one. Oops, toothpick broke. They're not what they used to be, I guess. So there is one. And here is the next one. We're going to do that with the other ones. Now I am preparing the vegetables for the sauce that we are using on the stuffed peppers. It's a tomato paste sauce, almost like a spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to actually triple up the recipe because I'm going to use that sauce on other items as well. I'm going to make me some stuffed cabbage, but mine is stuffed with ground chicken and ground turkey. And then I'm going to make some seitan meatballs. Make those later. And I post that video separate as well. So I already chopped up the onions and the carrots. Now it's the bell pepper time. Like I said, I am tripling the recipe, so there is a lot more onions, bell peppers, and carrots and garlic than I would usually use. But I will put the recipe in the box down below, so you have it in the description box. So I'm going to heat up a little bit of oil, just a drop, not much, because we don't want a lot of oil. And when it's hot, I will add the onions, garlic, bell pepper, and carrots to it and fry these up lightly. Alrighty, so here we go. I'm going to add the onions, carrots, garlic, and then we're going to get the bell pepper. And we're going to cook that until the onions are tender, which should be maybe 5 minutes. When I cook, I always make more than one meal because I meal prep. So today I'm going to make 3 different meals. We can freeze some, we can have some in the refrigerator for a later date, and some for tonight's dinner. So let me just turn this down to medium so they don't burn. And if you see them sticking a little bit, we just add a little water to deglaze them. So let's let these onions cook, and I'll check back in a minute. Okay, the vegetables are tender, and now we add all of this sauce. I use the Simply Nature from Aldi, but you can use any sauce that you like. And like I said, I'm tripling up the recipe because I make more. So usually you would just use 1 jar. And we rinse it out with a little water. Put this in the trash. Then we're going to add the stewed tomatoes. Some, about 1 tablespoon of, no, 2, I'm doubling, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. And now turn this up a little so it comes to a quicker boil. Let's just stir this over a little bit. So, okay, we're waiting for that to come to a boil. So for the sauce, I will add 3 bay leaves, I'm going to add bouillon, Maggie, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, paprika, black pepper, lots and lots and lots of black pepper, some salt, not too much salt because the sauce already has some salt in it, a little bitty cayenne, and let's see here. I am going to add a little more water, wash out these cans. And here we go. I think I need more Italian seasoning. Let me go get some more Italian seasoning. And if you have basil, rosemary, thyme, and Majoran. That's basically what's in an Italian seasoning. I have the Italian seasoning. I haven't opened this one. I just bought this one. So let me open it and put a little more in there because we want it nice and herby. Herby. I don't know if this is a word or not. I might just make that one up. So we might have to add a little more water once it starts boiling. So now we just wait for it to start boiling. But this sauce is starting to bubble. So we're going to turn it down on low and let it simmer. Put the lid on. And I got the cast iron skillet in the back heating up. I am going to add the avocado spray, generous amount, because I don't want it to stick. So we are now waiting for this to get hot so we can pan sear the cabbages, and we're going to wait for that to be hot. I also preheated the oven to 400. So after we're done pan searing these cabbage rolls, we're going to add the sauce to it and then stick it in the oven to finish it up. So the skillet is warm. We're adding the cabbages, toothpicks up. So the seam side is up. And we're going to fry these up on both sides. Then we are transferring into the Dutch oven. But we're going to put that in the stove, and I need a lid to cover it up. And my frying pan doesn't have a lid. So I got to improvise. So we're making sure that they don't burn. So you want to turn the heat to medium. You just want to give it a sear. Okay, let me check these. Perfect. Careful because this pops. So when you flip them, so you don't get burned, be very careful. This one is not brown enough, but that's okay. I don't want them to burn. There we go. Now we're going to let the other side brown as well. And then we're going to transfer them. So these are done. We're going to transfer them in here. Oh, pop, pop. And then we're going to add enough sauce to cover them. There we go. Maybe a little more. Here we go. Put on the lid and put them in the oven for about 35-40 minutes. Let me set the timer and I'll be back. The stuffed cabbage rolls are done. You see how the sauce cooked down? I love my Dutch ovens. I'm going to put it in some storage containers, glass containers, because I do not know what my husband wants to eat tonight, because I'm fixing different foods. So the best thing for me is to just put them in some glass containers, serving sizes, and go from there. Alrighty, so here we go. The finished product. 4 stuffed cabbage rolls with a tomato-based sauce. I am cooking some quinoa. That's what the husband wanted. And I also have the potato salad. He can have that with it if he wants. But this is it, the finished product. And these freeze very well too, just in case you need to freeze some if you make them. But I will put the recipe down in the description box. Give me a thumbs up if you liked that video, and please subscribe to my channel. I post videos frequently. And have a nice day. Guten Appetit. Bon Appetit. Tschüss. Bye bye.